We had a great children's ministry, and there was a little boy in our church named Sean. He was about 8 years old at the time. Sean is an adult, and he attends our church now. And every time I see Sean, I remember what happened to him. He was about, 7, 8, maybe 9 years old. And he came to my children's church every week, and he was one of those little rowdy guys that just loved Jesus. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a rhetorical question. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those rowdy kids? Come on, you have some at home? Right. And Sean was one of those rowdy kids at home. You know, he loved Jesus. And one day, I think it was a Monday, his mom, Sharon, who's in our church today, she had to go to the store. And so Sean was out playing with his older brother, and so she said, "Okay, be good. I'm running down to the store. I'm going to be back in a couple of minutes." And they said, okay. So when Sharon went down to the store, Sean decided that he would climb up on the roof. And so he climbed up on the roof, and he lost his balance. And he fell off of the roof, which normally wouldn't be too big of a thing, but Sean not only fell off the roof onto the grass on his way down, there was a fence that the next door neighbor had that had a spike on it. And when Sean fell, he fell on the spike, and it ripped his side all the way from about here to up here. And he fell one way, and all of his intestines went out on the other side. And he immediately went into shock, and he laid there, and he looked, and he saw all of his insides on his outsides. That'd be pretty shocking, wouldn't you say? And so about that time, his mom Sharon pulled into the driveway, and she saw what had happened, and she ran over to Sean, and she said, Sean, what's the matter? Sean, what happened? He goes, I fell. And so she went, she called 911, she comes back with the towel, and she's taking his intestines, and she's putting him on the towel, and she's praying, and she looks at Sean, and she says, pray, Sean, pray. And Sean just looked at her. She said, Sean, Jesus is in your heart. You learned about that from Pastor Eddie in children's church. Now come on, we need to pray. And he just looked at her. And she was trying to encourage him that he was a child of God and that Jesus lived in his heart. And she kept repeating that. And Sean just looked there. And she said, Sean, won't you pray? And finally he said, no. And she said, how come? Isn't Jesus in your heart? And he looked over at his mother. He looked at his intestines laying there, and he said, no, he fell out. Well, I'm here to tell you tonight, folks, that when you have Jesus in your heart, he's not going to fall out. He's there to stay. He's there to guide you. He's there to lead you. Amen? And he loves you just the way you are, but he loves you too much to let you stay that way. Amen?